Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's reading. While these readings are valid for whenever you come to them, I did want you to show you the tarot cards I'm going to be using for this one. This one's the Awakened Tarot. There's a website on the back. It doesn't really give the creator, and the book is stuck. So I will give you the website though, myryve.com. Feel free to check that out if you're interested. For the Oracle cards, supportive Oracle cards, I will be using You Are Clairvoyant Oracle cards by Belinda Grace, illustrations by Elaine Marzin. The website on this one, rockpoolpublishing.com.au. A is in apple, U is an umbrella. And in case you're interested, the dice I use are just regular game dice. In case you're interested, I got them on Amazon. Not that I show the dice very often, but sometimes people ask me where the dice are from. They're metal dice from online. And that's what they look like. Alright. And now on to your reading. Hello Capricorn. Thank you for tuning into this week's read. I already shuffled. So, let's see what we got for Capricorn. A bunch of cards all at once. What are we hiding here? That's it? Okay. That's interesting. Okay, so the situation may get complicated. We'll see. Communication from an outside source. I'm pretty confident with that, but the energy does feel a little different. You're a part of something. You're a very defined part of something. This feels very awkward. Can we get, like, I understand, like, that seems just so simple. Very defined. So communication, this is a situation you will communicate in if you need to, and you will move forward when you feel is necessary. I feel like whatever the situation is, you're more free with your communication. You're more likely to say what you actually feel and not hold back that much. I just feel like this is still like a little bit too... This is a situation where you might have distanced yourself from it, but not permanently. Something with communication coming at you, you made a decision. Whatever you're a part of here, you might be staying away from it for whatever reason. Because I feel more of a solitary, like I'm just staying off on my own. I just feel like everybody gets along better if I just stay on the outside. Okay. So, there's more communication coming in again. Somebody, like, is... I feel like somebody has feelings about what's going on here. Somebody has feelings. Okay. That's so defined. Somebody really is worried that things are falling apart, and if it's not addressed, it could get worse. Okay. I feel like there's communication in the past. I almost feel like that communication is coming around again. Like there's a possibility coming around again. Something is definitely difficult here. Trying to understand what's really going on, but it does feel like it's very complicated in the sense of like you understand it. I feel like it's not complicated to you, but if you were trying to explain it to somebody else, there's a lot of layers here, and it's kind of like, you know, it's like Capricorn is like, I've dealt with it. I know what it is about. I know all the history of this. I'm not even going to go through this with somebody else, but you know what's here. You know all these levels. Somebody's trying to communicate, trying to pull you closer to them. But it's kind of like, at the moment, you're avoiding it. Like, well, here's another reason why I'm saying that. You're avoiding it. You feel very confident doing so. It also may seem like whoever's trying to pull you closer may seem very random to you. But somebody's trying to connect with you. And I feel like you're avoiding it for now. This is an energy that you can match if you decide to, is what I'm getting. I mean, I know that's... Yeah, no, I'm going with it. Your first initial reaction to not react does not seem like it's bad initially. But is that your permanent reaction is the question. Because you got the Hanged Man coming in, and you got the Page of Cups reversed. Okay, so you have feelings about this situation. It's not like you're just reacting for no reason the way you are. I feel like that's obvious, but we'll say it. But I feel like you obviously you have feelings. That's why you're treating it the way you're treating it. Like there's a reason behind it. I feel like that's painfully obvious. You're at this point. You're at the block. Something is going on here that it does feel a little bit more critical. You can match this energy. You can respond to it if you decide to. And I'm not saying that like in the obvious sense of like, well, if I want to say something, I can say something. Well, clearly. But it's more like you have the power to make a difference here and for this to go better than expected. This moment seems very pivotal. The communication keeps coming in. You could balance this situation out, ironically. I don't know if you feel that way, though. You could very much create the balance in this situation. I don't know if you feel that way, though. That's the thing. And this is why it's about the cards that are on the table. Don't get caught up in the gender, but fire match. There's a fire match here. Whatever you're feeling about the situation, you can match in, and you can actually balance this situation out and help it go better. This is going to be one of those moments. I'm going to be careful with this because I feel like this is a little bit pointed. So, you got the Wheel of Fortune and then the Four of Wands, half in, half out. Something's coming forward. Something is happening. This moment does seem pivotal. Because it's like whatever it is currently, I feel like you're just kind of avoiding it at this moment. This is that moment where I'm trying to be careful with this, but I keep feeling the same way about it. You could take the passive route and just not respond, or you could get involved with it and see what's going on. It seems very passive, but I'm getting like, if you take the passive route and you don't respond, that's a decision. That is a decision. That's an active decision, even though it's a passive response. If you stay on the outside and you don't respond, what I'm getting is like you're creating something with that. This is what's not going to work, which I found this very ironic that your card popped up on what will not work. If you do it, you just feel like, well, I don't want to do it. I don't need to do it. I'm not going to do it. If you're feeling that way, because there's a reason you feel the way you do, and it's very valid for the reason you feel that way. But having that response and kind of like, you know what? I don't want to deal with your crap, and I'm not gonna. Boom. Makes sense. Looks good on paper. But it's going to have an outcome to where something here is like, it's like damaged at this point, but this will break it. This will break it. So if you're dealing with somebody and you're just kind of avoiding with them, you're just avoiding them. If you keep avoiding them, even though it's a passive decision, it's coming up very soon. There's going to be a very direct communication. It's going to be a conflict. I'm trying not to say conflict. It's going to be a direct conflict. If you don't deal with it and you just go numb to it or you just decide not to respond, this will break the situation. And I feel like it's not going to be very easily fixable from this point forward. If you do engage with it, I'm not going to say this is going to be easy, but then again, Capricorn is usually very... Just because it's not easy doesn't mean you're not going to get what you want out of it. Capricorn will put in the effort if they decide they want it. Engaging with it, you're going to see a lot of things here that you don't like, but it's going to bring you back into connection with this situation in a way you prefer to be. It's going to have a transition time of probably 3 to 4 months, but this could come back in a very strong, very good, very positive way, but it's going to take some time before you feel that comfort again. And it may not, I just said this in the Virgo reading. I don't believe in perfect, but better. This can be better. It's very similar to the Virgo reading. So if you're dealing with a Virgo in some respect, this might match in with that. It's going to take a lot of working out things, a lot of like trying to be on the same page, a lot of effort trying to be on the page with other people. It's kind of like going to say like, I'll work halfway with you if you work halfway with me, and you might have to flat out say that. Listen, I don't have a problem going halfway if you're going to go halfway. If you're going to meet me halfway, I can do halfway. But you might have to actually start that conversation and keep that mantra in the back of your mind. If you meet me halfway, I'll meet you halfway. I can do that. I can do that. You could definitely do that. Wanting to do that is another thing, I know that. But you can do that. You're at this threshold. That threshold, like, this could get worse. I feel like this situation could get worse. What do you see as prosperity in this situation? If you were to step back from the situation, what do you want from it? Do you want it to stay where it is? Because something is locking in. I don't understand why, and it makes me very nervous that something is locking in. And they're saying, step back. In 2 years, in 5 years, in 10 years, where do you want this situation to be? Because this next moment is going to define that. If you want the situation to come back together in 2 years, 5 years, or 10 years, you got to participate in it. If you don't care and you're like, no, if it goes away in 2 years, I'm not going to care. In 5 years, I'm not going to care. In 10 years, I'm literally not going to care. And you feel completely confident with that. Having that passive reaction, it's going to lock in soon, and that's where it's going to stay. That's where it's going to stay. It's a general reading. Take it with a grain of salt. Is there any other I feel like they're trying to help you make your decision. Like, if that's what you want, that's okay. That's fine. There's a lot of I feel I keep seeing like a broken wagon. You got the Star card, half in, half out. You got the Knight of Pentacles, half in, half out. Afterwards, if you try to fix this like a year from now, I just feel like it's half effort from all people involved. I feel like there's a lot of people who are just too little too late, or like, okay, you want to fix this now, Capricorn, but I don't give a crap. Whatever's going on in this next couple months, somebody is saying something, bringing direct conflict in. Everybody seems to be engaging at that point. And while everybody's engaged, you have the best opportunity to create the situation to where you want it. And see, I keep getting something like a year passes, and there's just like, people don't care. And it's not that they don't care, but like, they've already kind of moved on from it. They're like, I'm not going back and dealing with that again. We dealt with that a year ago. I didn't like it then. I'm not coming back and dealing with it now. You didn't want to be a part of it, then fine. It's like they're not going backwards. They're not willing to go backwards. I don't know what to say about that. Which, it's just about you having the information and realizing where things are going. So that way you can make your decision where you want to be. I feel like I should just kind of let it be at this point. It is what it is. If this reading is hitting, I feel like you'll make your decision. You'll do what you have to do. If it's not hitting, then it's not hitting. That's just how it is. I have a feeling for those of you who stayed this far, most of you probably it's hitting for. That's why you stayed. So, all right. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.